Hi, hello. I am in the Eastern Sierras in California, here with Brett, who many of you will be really happy to finally meet because you've emailed or DM'd me asking for his contact information. He builds out vans professionally and he built mine just over 4 years ago. Like I kind of hinted at in the last video, there are some major changes happening with my van right now. It's currently under construction. So we are taking Brett's van, which he also built by himself, up to Lake Tahoe for a break from building. I've also been living in this van while he's working on rebuilding my van, which has been super cool of him, and it's given me a chance to try on my dream of owning a 4x4 Sprinter van, which has been pretty fun. But also in this video, we're going to test out the new Insta360 X3 and the invisible dive case, who's also the sponsor of this video. If you saw my recent videos, you'll remember I was just out here not too long ago, and the one thing I really wish I had with me was an underwater camera. Now that we have one, we're heading out on the paddleboard to test it out, both as an underwater camera and also just as an everyday vlogging camera. It's been pretty toasty lately, so I'm actually pretty stoked to dip into some colder water. And in my experience, Lake Tahoe is freezing. So yeah, I'm excited right now. We'll see how I feel when I get out there. Hi, hello again. Pretty neat camera, eh? If you're new to the Insta360 camera system, guess what? I am too, but I can honestly say after using it for the past week, this is now a permanent part of my workflow. So a very quick rundown of the i360 X3 as a standalone camera. This ultra compact camera shoots 360 video in 5.7K and 4K in single lens mode. The camera offers flow state stabilization and 360 horizon lock with the option to reframe your content in post-production using either your phone or your usual video editing software on your computer. It's also waterproof up to 33 feet without a case. Translation, it records incredibly smooth footage at a high resolution that allows you to basically choose whatever composition you prefer in the post-editing process. But here is my favorite feature, the invisible selfie stick. When you film with this stick attached, the footage automatically edits it out so that you can't even see it. The X3 also features some new and upgraded modes to include 72 megapixel photos, 4K single lens, 360 active HDR, Me mode, 8K time-lapse, 4K 120 photos per second bullet time, and loop recording. I'm gonna skip details on these different modes because there are already some fantastic videos out there that show just what this camera can do. But what I really want to show you all is this new invisible dive case. With this case, the invisible selfie stick has the same effect as it does on land, and it disappears in your edit for incredible third-person perspectives. And with the flow state stabilization and 360 horizon lock, the footage should be stable no matter how rough the waves get. But you might be wondering, why do we even need this case if the camera's already waterproof up to 33 feet? And the reason is that without a case, underwater light refraction affects the normal stitching of 360 footage. Water has a higher refractive index than air, which makes objects appear bigger and closer underwater. As you can see from this footage, the old dive case wasn't fully invisible, and it created a problem when you wanted to reframe. A case like the invisible dive case corrects for this refraction, allowing you to capture seamless 360-degree footage underwater and then choose the best angles afterward when editing. So, after filming with this case, there are a few things I've learned that I want to share with you all before you take this underwater. My first piece of advice is to update your camera to the latest firmware so that you can utilize the new dive case settings. Next, you'll want to put your camera into dive mode. This is how you mount the camera into the dive case, and you'll want to use these little round inserts and this tightening wrench that comes with the dive kit to get a really secure connection. This is really important because if the case moves around at all, the stick will show in the footage. You also have these anti-fog strips and this wipe to keep the dome clean and clear, which will definitely come in handy. Once you're in the water, it's easiest to keep the dive case closed and utilize these side buttons here to record and adjust your settings. When you're filming, you want to be sure the case is directly in line with the selfie stick in order to keep the stick itself invisible. You can see in this footage that I had the case slightly bent, and so there was a small black handle visible at the base. This might seem a little unnatural first. In fact, for me, I filmed a bunch of footage with the camera tilted toward me like this because I was skeptical about it actually getting me in frame, but I quickly learned that the stick and camera need to be completely aligned and as straight as possible for the best results. Finally, last piece of advice, use this lens cap and this soft case whenever you're not using either one to protect the lens and this dome from any scratches or damage. When it comes to reviewing and editing footage, there are a couple ways you can do this. One is to wirelessly import your files into the Insta360 app on your phone and edit there. The software is really easy to use, and this is what I'd probably recommend if you want to do a quick edit for social media. You can also import the files directly into your computer and edit using Insta360 Studio to apply effects like Aquavision 2.0, color correction, or refine a specific stitching mode, and then apply keyframes in either the same program or whatever third-party editing platform you usually use. I currently edit in Premiere Pro, so I went ahead and applied a few effects in Insta360 Studio, then imported those 360 files directly into my Premiere Pro timeline so that I could easily edit all my footage from various cameras together into one sequence. I'm really excited to continue experimenting with this. It would have been the ultimate setup for back when I was living in Hawaii, so I don't know. Maybe I should head back there sometime soon and try it out in the ocean. I'd actually be really curious to hear where and how you might use this camera yourselves, or if you have any recommendations on locations where this would be really fun to film in. If you decide to pick one up for yourself, click the link in the description below to get a free extra battery with your purchase of the X3 Invisible Dive Kit. If you purchase using my link, you help support this channel and to keep the adventures going, so thank you to all of you, and also to Insta360 for sponsoring this video. Also, let me know in the comments below if you want to see a little more of this fan while mine is still under construction. And as always, thank you so much for being here. I will see you all in the next one. Ciao!